All right, guys, production for your film. Production is it. You have planned it out, and now you are going to start filming. You're collecting sound, you're doing light, and this is the movie being made. This is your production. I'm going to break this down from filming, lighting, sound, and safety. And we're going to start with my favorite part, and that is filming. So I've given you a couple of do's and don'ts, and I'll go into those a little more, but you can look at that. No, do film horizontal. So that means you're going to take your camera. This would be vertical, and this is horizontal. You're going to want to film this way. Now, let's say that you were filming something and you wanted the audience member to think that it is on a phone, or that's the message that you're trying to portray. Well, then yeah, you're going to film that way. But when you film this way, if you go through filming your film vertically, you're going to get those black bars on the side, and that's something you probably don't want, unless that's the vision you're going for. So remember, horizontal. And watch these fingers. A lot of times you start filming and those fingers will start creeping in front of that camera, and you'll pick them up and it'll ruin your whole shot, and your talent will get very upset with you. Use a tripod or stabilizer as much as you can. You're going to hear me talk about movement on don'ts, and you're going to see me talk. You're going to hear me talk about movement for your message. You want to try to set your shots up for the emotion that you're trying to pull out during that part of the film. If it is a very action-packed film, then yeah, you're going to want some movement. You're going to want some shakiness because you want your viewer to have that feeling. But if it's just two people talking and you're sitting there holding this shaking up and down, it's really going to lose that viewer, and they're not going to understand what you're trying to tell them or get them to understand. Check your system storage, especially before you start filming. Make sure that you have enough room to do what you want to do. And as soon as you get done with filming, make sure you back it up. Back it up with your Google Drive or on your computer or wherever you're going to, in WeVideo. Make sure that you back that up so that you don't lose it and have to shoot it again. Use different shots. Don't have your viewer get bored with just one singular shot. Now, sometimes if you're trying to give a message away that's very important, you might want to just hold on to one steady shot. In some of your favorite movies, you can think about when they've just been one single shot and it's kind of build tension, or you're trying to build fear. You might want to have that one steady shot, but mix it up a little bit. Just don't go for this single shot. You might want to shoot from the different levels that you're given to, from way up high to way down low. And I have that use movement as a message. We talked about that. And focus. Make sure that you are focusing with your device, whether it be your phone or you have a video camera. Make sure that you are focusing on what you're trying to film, and that's not very tiny in the corner. Vertically some don'ts. Vertical filming, no. Moving camera fast and unstable, boy, you will lose your audience real quick, especially if they're going to throw up. Fill the camera. Don't fill the camera all the way up before you pull stuff off. I would give myself time to, after I film, be able to pull that film off of my phone, store it in multiple places, and then get rid of it. Film from far away. This is not exactly this. So if you think that you're close to something, you probably aren't as close as you think because you're using this. Make sure when you're filming that the message that you're trying to tell, you are holding the camera at an appropriate distance so that your viewer can see it. Don't be out of focus. And don't hold one shot for too long unless that's the tone or message that you're trying to go with. So I have some examples here. You can see that this person at the top is filming correctly, vertically. They are pretty far away, but I think it's so that they can gain all of that imagery in there. That's a beautiful tunnel, and that's a beautiful shot. And we'll talk about lighting in another couple slides, but that's some pretty good lighting. You can see the one below that. They are focused on what is important, and it is all in the shot that they want. The next one over at the top, they're using a tripod, so it's a stable shot, and that is going to be very helpful for you. So if you have a tripod, please use it. If you don't have one, just try and stay as steady as you can. Don't have too much caffeine. On the bottom one, the reason I like this one is, one, they're using a handheld device. They're using some kind of gimbal to balance the camera that they're filming with, and they're also really close to their actors. That's going to help in a bunch of different ways. One, it lets the viewer know it's very important. And two, the sound is probably going to be a lot better. Unless you have sound equipment connected to your phone. And I'm using phones. You might have a video camera and you might have a microphone. That's awesome. I'm using phones because I'm thinking most people, that's what they'll be using to film with. Make sure that your distance from whoever you're trying to film, if they have a speaking part, that you're close. But that's in sound, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Again, check that storage, check that space. You need to make space on your phone for your film, and film takes up a lot of space. The next picture is showing the settings. You'll probably want to pick the best settings for your film in your phone. So you go into your phone, go to camera, go to settings first, and then go to camera, and make sure that you're getting the highest quality you can. Now, once you start changing that quality, it's going to take up more storage. I don't know what kind of device you have, so I didn't put directions on how to do that. That's what Google's for. So Google, what would be the best setting for you to film on your phone? On this slide, it breaks down camera angles. You have eye level, obviously eye level. Low angle, one of my favorite shots. You can tell that the person is underneath them, and it gives a great emotion to the shot. You have the high angle where you're way up high, the hip level, it's a little below, the knee level, great shot, ground level, the shoulder level, the Dutch angle, a little tilted, overhead, that's an awesome shot from Mission Impossible, and the aerial. Now, when you're gathering these shots, always remember safety. I'll talk about safety in a little bit, so don't put yourself in harm's way just to get that perfect shot. But as you're filming, and you should have done this in your planning when you're planning out your storyboard, your shots, but this might just pop up and you go, oh, that'll make a great shot. Telling your story and however you're doing it, giving different angles. Now, you don't want to go overboard and give too many where we don't know what's going on, but use different angles to kind of change that viewer's view of what's going on. Basic camera shots, you have the extreme wide shot. Love that shot, but not when you're trying to collect sound, and don't hold on that one too long because I don't know what I'm looking at right there. It's not a very good picture anyway. You have your wide shot, your medium close-up, your close-up, and your extreme close-up. The extreme close-up is a great shot when you're trying to show the emotion of your talent, your actor, your pet, your toy, whatever you're filming. When you give that extreme shot, you can really read what's going on in the face, and it lets the viewer kind of feel the emotion that that actor is giving. Again, it just breaks it down a little different. Extreme long shot, very long shot, and it's got little initials there. So you can see by changing that up and changing your shots, your viewer is less likely to just stop paying attention. You're showing them something different. You can also do it as a rhythm. When you're changing your shots, you can go, okay, I'm going to stay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Next shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, you don't want to do it too much, because too much is just going to get kind of nauseous, and it's not going to be special. So you want to save those different angles when you're trying to have a meaning, an emotion, a tone to your shot, and they're great. They make your film kind of stand out. Lighting for you might be tough. For some of y'all, it might be very simple. It just depends on what type of film you're making and what type of tone you want to have throughout your film, because lighting can portray, is this a dark film? Am I supposed to be scared right now? Oh, it's very light. I'm very happy. Not too much, not too little, but just right. If you do too much lighting, you can blow everything out and it's going to be hard to see what's going on. And that is very hard to fix in post. Now we're using WeVideo and it doesn't give that much control over lighting unless you're using some other editing software. So if you go too far extreme, then it's hard to recover. If you go dark and you don't go too dark, you can change the exposure. You can also look at the settings inside your camera to fit the lighting. So you can adjust those settings in your phone or your video camera to fit the lighting that you're going for. I love that. Think of Three Little Bears. Again, I could edit this, but I'm not. I think it's awesome. There's your best lighting source is the sun. And if your shot is supposed to be outside, always make sure your sun is behind you. Now, if it's noon and it's right above you, you're going to get some shadows coming down. So that's something you have to think about. But in the morning, it's coming up in the east. So you're going to be filming westerly and you're going to flip that around in the afternoon. So just think about that sun placement in your shots for lighting. It is our best lighting source, and that's why everything looks great out there, especially when the sun is at the right angle. And also, if you're interested in film, you've probably heard about the magic hour, and that is right before dark and right in the morning, and you just get some awesome, awesome light. Here's some examples of good lighting and bad lighting. You can see right here, it's not too good. She's too dark on one side. This one, it's kind of hard to focus on. This one's a little orange. This one's too dark. This one is pretty good, but you can see those shadows. And this one, she's blown out on. Out of all of these, you do get a different kind of emotion from the lighting. Like this one, she's got the same face on, but she's looking very like she's up to no good. She's got some evilness going. Here, this one's a little scary too. So when I said bad lighting, I guess I'm not right on that because maybe that's the look you're going for. It's only showing half her face. So maybe at this point in your story, she's lying or being deceitful. So just be mindful of your surroundings and your lights, and especially for whoever's editing your film. If it's you, take that in consideration when you're changing shots. If you're not able to shoot it all in one point in time, when you change that lighting, it's going to get real funky when you're editing because you're going to be able to tell this was not at the same time. Some more examples of bad lighting versus good lighting. You can see that there is no light in here, and then in here he's totally bright, and that's awesome. Not too much, not too little. So you want to be careful. I know you're going to be filming a lot in your house, so your lighting might not be perfect in there. So that's something you're going to have to take in consideration. You want to avoid being too dark and filming in dark rooms unless that's the emotion or tone that you're going for in your film. I love this one down here because this is a simple fix. It says with light bounced, without light bounce. If you can take a reflective surface and have someone hold it just outside a frame, you're able to light up one side of your talent. And you can see that's what's happening right here. They just have a reflector, and it looks like he's holding it, probably with that hand right there. So some things you might have around your house that can help with lighting, and please ask your parents' permission if it's not yours, but ring lights are great and awesome. They can make you look beautiful. Makeup lights will work too. You have just your household lamp here. I take that shade off and you can use that for lighting. And you have some constructive lighting right here. So use what you got, and you're going to have to adapt. So when you are filming, if you don't have very good lighting, maybe that's going to start shaping the tone of your story. Maybe it's going to go darker. Or if you have too much lighting and you don't have a lot of dark areas, maybe your story is going to be a comedy. Just think about your lighting and just take in consideration, and that will help just when you're thinking about it as you start filming. Ooh, sound. Sound is a silent killer. I love that. It can make or break your film. You will have to adapt to what sound you can gather. So you can see my man right here has got a boom mic, and if you have a sound guy with a boom mic, you got it made. But you probably don't. So there is sound equipment. that you might have or might not have, and that's just, you can see that's a boom mic right here. That's a mic with a sock on it. The sock is to break down the wind, and they also have a mixer right here. They do make mics for your phone. If that's something that you already have or that you're purchasing, just make sure it's compatible. This Rode mic, I've bought so many Rode mics that have not worked with certain cameras that I have. So just make sure you do your research if you are looking to purchase some sound equipment for your device. You probably are not going to have microphones. So these are things that can help you get around that. Be very cautious of the surroundings of where you're going to film. You're going to want to film in an area that is quiet. If you're having dialogue, if you're trying to pick up dialogue for your actors or for your talent or whoever you're filming or whatever you're filming, you don't want all those distractions of those loud noises. And the biggest killer of loud noise is wind. So if it is a windy day, you're probably going to want to film inside on that day or be able to block the wind, or you're going to have to voice dub or something like that, because wind has destroyed so many great takes. Also airplanes and trains and horns honking. So you just have to be, when you're planning out your film or when you're filming, just be aware of your surroundings and the type of sounds you're going to pick up. Also, the camera person, please, I am very bad at this. When you're filming, you have to control yourself too, especially your breathing, because that is something that you're going to pick up when you're holding one of these devices if you don't have a microphone. So you can pick up your own breathing, and that can become distracting and ruin some shots. I've ruined a lot. Again, I have this picture. I talked about it when we were talking about filming, but the distance that you are having from your talent, if they're speaking, you want to be probably up close if you don't have a microphone. Now, I'm saying all this like you don't have a microphone. You never want to be too close if you have a loud speaker, because that's going to blow out your sound, and that's just as bad as being barely able to hear something. So make sure your distance is correct, and especially if you have talent that doesn't speak very loudly, you're going to have to get closer. If they're very loud, you're going to want to back up. And I would just take a couple takes every time. Get some headphones, stick them into your phone, and listen, and make sure that sound is coming through so that you are not wasting you and the people you're working with time. If you do ruin some shots, and I've done this before, it's very hard to do. It's very time consuming, but it has saved me a couple times, and that is doing a voice dub. A voice dub is just laying down the speaking part after you've shot and then matching it up. So you have your actors, actresses watching the film and record them saying what they said in the film, and then just trying to match that up. It's very difficult to do, but you can do it. Or let's say that sound is completely blown out, or you can just go to a silent film where you're gonna have music playing and you're going to have text showing what they've said. I would avoid this. This is just kind of something to fall back on if you just can't get the sound right. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I struggle with sound all the time. All right, last thing is safety. You are you're filming your film, and you have scenes in there that could get dangerous. You are in control of that, and you are responsible for that. So you're going to want to avoid you getting hurt or the people that are working with you getting hurt. So if you are doing something that's fast-paced running, please be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you're not doing anything dangerous or is putting other people in dangerous, and just keep that in check. Plus, you're filming, so you can see over here, I have some shots that have been manipulated to aren't really happening, but it looks like it's happening. This person looks like it's eating the other person. That's just that person's far away, and this person's up close to the camera. So you do have the capability to manipulate to make things look like they're happening that aren't actually happening. I've helped someone in the film workshop last year film like they were falling down the stairs. Well, they didn't. They just pretended like they were going to fall. Then we took the camera and we just rolled the camera down. We didn't throw it down. We rolled it down so we weren't in the shots, just shaking it like this. And then when we pieced it together, it made it look like they were falling down the stairs, and they did not have to fall down the stairs. Again, this is just a person up close to the camera, and that person is far back. So take in consideration safety, and we'll be all right. I love that shot right there, like they're holding the sun. Cool. Okay. Good luck. I cannot wait to see your films, and I believe post-production is up again, where we talk about editing. That's me again. So I'll see you in a bit. Rock on.